Hello everyone, welcome back. This is the second part of the video series about React. And in this part, we're going to be going over how you can set up your React environment and officially get started with your very first React project. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start our project. Yeah, I'm excited too. In this video, we're going to need two things. Number one, we're going to install something called Node.js, which is something that you might have heard of a lot these days. Node.js is an open source JavaScript runtime environment that is used heavily these days to write JavaScript, this time for the backend instead of writing it for the frontend. Now, throughout this entire video series, which we're going to be talking about React, we won't be needing Node.js at all. And instead, we're actually going to be needing something called NPM, which is Node's package manager. And we'll only be using NPM in order to install dependencies for our React applications. And you know that React is actually built on top of multiple dependencies. So we'll be needing NPM in order to create our very first React application. Number two, which is the second thing that we're going to need, is something called Create React App. And Create React App is actually a dependency which we're going to be installing using NPM, which we did in the first step, to create our very first React project as easily as typing one single command, which I'm going to show you later. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is go over to nodejs.org/en, and you can just find this link by just typing Node.js in Google. And then here we have the option to either download the long-term support version, which is 20.10.0 at this time of the recording, or 21.50, which is the current latest version of the Node.js. I recommend downloading the current version because why not? It has the most features. So we're going to download this. Once we're done downloading it, you can open up the installation file, which is something like this. It's called Node.js Setup. Then you can click on Next. And well, in this case, I already have Node.js, this version installed, but I'm going to show you how it's done. So we just click on basically change. And basically, yeah, once you click Next and accept the terms and conditions, this is the page that you're going to see, which basically you can just go with the default settings, go next. You don't have to check off this box because it will install a bunch of possibly useless dependencies on your system. You don't want that. And then you click next, and then you click on, well, in your case, it's going to be install. And then after that, it will take about a minute to install Node.js. And once it is done, it's usually a good idea to restart your system. And then after that, we're going to go ahead and install our dependency, which is going to help us create our first React project. Great. So now that NPM is actually installed, we can go ahead and install the Create React App module. And how do we do that? We first go ahead to the folder where we can install our React application, where we are actually planning to do that. And then we are going to open the terminal here, and now that was on Windows 11, in case you missed it. So you right click and then open a terminal, and it's going to open the terminal in this path, which in this case is my programs and then first React app folder. And here we can actually type npm I, which stands for install, and then type create React app and then -g. Now, running this command installs the Create React app dependency on our machine in a global manner because we're using the -g argument. And this basically means that you're installing this package on your entire system. And this, in this case, is not a very good thing. Now I'm going to explain why. Because of multiple reasons. Now, number one is Create React App is a package that is consistently getting updated by React. So newer versions are coming out sometimes every few days. So it's not a very good idea to install a specific version and then keep using that for the future because new updates come out. And the second reason is that it basically just fills your system with a package which could be a little heavy and take some storage on your system. And for these reasons, instead of running npm I create React app -g, we're going to use another newer, nicer method, which basically allows us to use something called npx. And then we can basically use npx to run a package and basically use a package without actually installing it on our system, without taking up any storage. So the way we use npx is we just say npx create React app, and then after that we basically just give it the name of our application. You can just say first app, and then you just type enter. And then what it does is it temporarily downloads the Create React app. Now it actually says I need to install the following package. So you just basically type Y in order to say it's okay to proceed. And then it first installs that, and then after that it runs the command of Create React app and installs your first application, which is called first-app. So let's watch it go. Shouldn't take that long, usually just a few seconds. If you have run this command before, it takes even less time because it's going to cache some settings on your system. So let's go ahead and wait for this to be finished. Great, so this command finished running. Right now, we actually created our first React application. Now, if I just go back to that folder, you can see that a folder called first app is created here. And inside of it, there is some kind of a boilerplate. There's multiple folders. You can see .git at the very top, which means that this command actually initialized a Git repository for us in this folder, which makes it much easier for us to push this to a Git repository, which we can create using our GitHub account. And it has the Node modules account, which basically includes some of the dependencies, the base dependencies that React needs in order to function. It has a public folder, which I'm going to show you what it actually does in a bit. And we also have the SRC folder. In the SRC, we have some logic, some CSS, and also some test suites, which are gracefully written for us, so we can use them as reference. So we have all these files. Now I'm going to, for the purpose of this video, I'm going to open up VS Code and open up our project, which allows us to view our project much more easily. We're going to open this up, try to open our folder, desktop, and then this, and then first app. So we navigate to our folder, and we're going to select this folder. So this opens up the folder for us, and here we can actually see all those files much easier. Now, I'm going to open up the file called package.json, which basically instructs NPM what packages are actually in our application. Now, in this case, in the dependencies, if you just look at this, and this file is a JSON file. I will explain in future videos what JSON actually is, but this is pretty much the format that JSON follows. Key, value, key, value, key, value. Now here we have the dependencies as the key, and the values are actually the dependencies followed by their versions. And as you can see, the React is installed version 18.20, which is the latest as of now. React DOM and React scripts. I'm going to go over all these dependencies and what they actually do in order to help us. And down here, we also have a few commands called start, build, test, and eject. Now we're going to run the start command, which is defined for us by the React boilerplate. And how do we do that? So we just basically need to open a new terminal, and there's actually a shorthand as well, which is the control plus this button, if you can see that. So we just open a new command line interface for ourselves, and what we do is basically we copy this. It basically just says start, and the way we run this in our project is by typing npm followed by the name of that command, which in this case is npm start. And once we actually run this, it is going to run our first React application, which we just created. And there you go. It's going to create a channel for us on port 3000. And as you can see, this basically rotating React logo is here. And then over here, it says edit src app.js to save and save it to reload the page, which means that you don't have to manually reload the page, which is very nice. And also they've put the link to the React documentation over here. And basically, this is your very first React application. Yeah, it's following the boilerplate that is used by React. However, this is a fully valid React application, which we just made. It's an amazing start. And in the next video, we're going to go over more details, what basically each file is, what each specific file or folder is doing, and how we can customize the React application Congratulations on creating your very first React project. In the next video, we're going to be diving deeper and talk about things like JSX and Virtual DOM, which are basically big assets that are being used by React. Now, until the next video, right now, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. This way you get more of this kind of content, and it will absolutely encourage me to make more, make them quicker, and make them with higher quality. Also, don't forget to leave comments in case you have any questions or you ran into a little problem along the way. I will do my best to respond to you as quickly as possible. I will see you in the next video. Take care of yourselves.